Hello and welcome to the Federal. The Centre recently issued an advisory that has told print, digital, and electronic media from putting out ads that promote online betting and gambling. Today, we have with us Mr. Karthikeyan, a cybercrime advocate who is here to shed more light on the legalities surrounding the ads promoting online betting and gambling. So, Mr. Karthikeyan, how does the law distinguish between online gambling and gambling? And also, does any loophole exist which gives online gambling companies a lot of leeway?
Yes, ma'am. Supreme Courts, along with various high courts, given a distinction between a normal game and gambling. So they distinguish the games based on game of skill and game of chance. Game of skill is permitted, and still it is continued to be called as a game. Game of chance is considered to be gambling. So what the difference between game of skill and game of chance is nothing but an application of mind. So when you play any game with application of mind, that is considered to be a game of skill. And any game it's without application of mind, or by just playing by chance, it is considered to be a game of chance, which is considered to be gambling. And this distinction was given earlier, a decade back or more than 2 decades back by the Supreme Courts and various high courts of this country. And according to them, they declared rummy as a game of skill, and accordingly, it is coming under game. It is not a gambling or betting. So that is the reason a lot of companies like online rummy games, they could able to survive even after bans from various states, and they challenge the ordinance passed by the countries, or the geo passed by various states as well. Like in this consideration, they defend on the ground that Article 19(1)(g) of Indian Constitution. So according to Article 19(1)(g) of Indian Constitution, anyone has the right to any trade which is not considered to be illegal in this country. So accordingly, they can do any kind of business. So they claim under a shelter under Article 19(1)(g) of Indian Constitution. But however, like if you could see the gambling comes under Article 246, seventh schedule of the Indian Constitution, under the state subject. So only state can pass a law on that, not the central government can pass a law. Because central government can pass a law if it is in the central list or in a concurrent list. Since it is falling under the state list, the state governments are passing, laws where to prevent online gambling, such as online rummies. But however, the online rummy game companies are challenging those laws by approaching the High Court, stating that we have protection under Article 19(1)(g), and this is not illegal. But however, we need to do something on this, because these precedents were set about a decade back on whether the on rummy is a game of skill or chance. But however, right now we are playing rummy with the robot, that's artificial intelligence. Previously, rummy was played between humans. But right now, human versus artificial intelligence. This is the issue right now. So it is a high time for the courts to revamp the situation, as well as they need to read the complete architecture game of skill. So rummy, on when it comes to rummy, it is game of skill. When it comes to online rummy, it is a game of chance. Like purely, it's all designed by the gamer itself. The gamer, in the sense, the developer itself, it's been designed when you need to win a game or when you need to lose the game. Everything has been predefined. You're playing with a predefined robot. So even though if you have a skill, you can't win that robot. So that is the issue right now. Yes.
Would the recent guidelines that have been issued by the Centre to refrain media channels from putting out ads promoting online betting and gambling be any good?
Definitely, ma'am. This guidelines was passed, based on consultation with the stakeholders, with various associations, including the Ministry of Consumer Affairs. Because these guidelines most important, because it's a welcome move by the center as well. Because those center cannot pass any law on this, but they can, pass a guidelines preventing the celebrities, the celebrities as well as social media influencers, not to promote this. Though they can't directly ban this application, they can stop all kind of advertisements, and even the youngsters and middle-aged people are lured by the statement made by the celebrities as well as the social media influencers. Really, it is a welcome move by the center.
But is there any existing legislation in place to stop online betting and gambling? And what explains the disparity between different states and their legislation and how they are implementing it?
See, legislation can be passed by different states, and it's only paper-based. Implementation is a little bit difficult. The gaming applications, especially online rummy, is available in Play Store and Apple iStore, and we can prevent the Play Store as well as the Apple iStore only by the law passed by the central government from uploading or availability of those applications in those stores. So then only we can implement the law. Otherwise, passing a state law will not prevent these companies from uploading the games in the Play Store or in the Apple iStore. So implementation is a little bit difficult when it is passed by a state law. Only if it is by a center, they can directly prevent or ban this application from the Apple App Store or Play Store, or else they can have a regulatory body where that regulatory body can constantly review these application, and they can give some recommendations to the central government stating that these are all the applications to be removed, because if we ban a particular application, we are going to name the application and we are going to ban that application, but the same application will be emerge in a different name. So we can't keep on banning those applications. Instead of that, we can have a regulatory body. This regulatory body will review this application. After getting a license or certificate from this regulatory body, then only it should be available in Play Store or Apple iStore. If this is so, our entire cyberspace will be secured, because we have seen a lot of cases in the past, like the games like PUBG or TikTok, various applications, nearly about 300 applications were banned by the center on various stages. So if they have a review committee, then the review committee will, which consists of legal minds as well as the technical minds combined together, including the stakeholders from the relevant industry and also the public opinion. After that, they need to give a license, or they can say that we can't give any license. Then Google as well as Apple has to comply with that. If that is the case, this will be the permanent solution for these kind of issues. Otherwise, each and every time this kind of issue will crop up, again the government, the parliamentarian has to sit together, or the legislative people has to sit together and discuss on this. Instead of that, we can have a permanent body similar to what we have for a cine industry. We have a censorship board. Similar to that, we need to have a board for this as well.
But what legislation exists in other countries where they permit online gaming but not gambling? And should India be emulating that example?
Of course, ma'am. If you could take our neighboring country, for example, China, they allow gambling, but they have a limitation set for that. If a kid wants to play these kind of games, they have only 3 hours per week. It's 3 hours is only 1 hour on a weekend. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday between 8 to 9 p.m. they can play this game. And if you are an adult, then you are allowed to play this game, but there are some time restrictions. You can play only after 6 o'clock in the morning, and you can't play beyond 10 o'clock in the evening. And moreover, if you want to spend money, you can spend money, but there is a limitation. For example, they have a limitation of about 10 to $20 per day. You can't spend more than that per day. Even if you want to spend 10 to $20 per day, you can't extend it for the whole month. Cumulatively, for a month, you can spend about $100 and $150. That's it. So they have a restrictions. So here, the user, the gamer itself, controlled by its own. So if that is the case, then this will be completely regulated on this aspect. So we can follow and we can take clue from the neighboring countries.
But do you actually think that such restrictions when it comes to the number of hours one can play, or would that actually work out in the case of India and act as a deterrent?
Yes, of course, because here there is no time restrictions. Even if you have, for example, share market is there in India for years together, but there is a time limitation. It starts at 10 o'clock, then it's at 5 o'clock. So there is a limitation. Only people can play between these time period. But when it comes to online gaming or betting, there is no time period, and there is no limitation, and there is no body to regulate it. So as of now, it is only the self-control of a person which controls this. And whoever is playing these kind of games, they are playing on their own when they are sitting in their house or when they are sitting in their office. So no one can peep into other mobile, and they can say that he is playing right now, because you can prevent it. Instead of this, we can give these directions to the application developers itself. For example, if you are developing an application, for example, if it is a rummy or any other gambling, you need to follow this kind of instructions. If you fail to follow that, then your license will be cancelled. If you allow people to play beyond the 3 hours per week, then your license will be cancelled. If you allow people to spend more than $150 per month, then your license will be cancelled. So restrictions and owners should be placed on the application developer, not with the user.
Thank you, Mr. Karthikeyan, for joining us.